Some memories never fade. They have fur, bright eyes, and the gift of loving us without saying a word. Because every dog carries a story, and maybe a part of yours. Get ready to discover more than a breed. Discover a lifelong companion.
If you love dogs and want to know the true story behind the Doberman, the most loyal guard dog in the world, subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon. You're about to discover secrets that few people know about this incredible breed. Have you ever wondered why the Doberman is considered one of the best protection dogs in the world? Behind that piercing gaze and imposing posture lies a fascinating story of loyalty, intelligence, and courage that few people know about. The Doberman Pinscher is not just a guard dog. It's a four-legged warrior, a tireless protector, and above all, a loyal companion who would give their own life for their family. But how did this extraordinary breed come to be? And why has it become synonymous with personal protection worldwide? Get ready for an exciting journey through the history, characteristics, and surprising facts about the Doberman. You'll never see this breed the same way again. Our story begins in 19th century Germany, specifically in the city of Apolda, in the Thuringia region. The year was 1890, and a man named Karl Friedrich Louis Doberman had a very specific problem to solve. Karl Doberman was no ordinary dog breeder. He worked as a tax collector, an extremely dangerous profession at that time. Imagine walking through dark streets, dangerous neighborhoods, carrying large amounts of money in an era with no security, no cell phones, nothing but your own protection. Doberman also worked as a slaughterhouse inspector and, in his spare time, as a dog catcher, responsible for collecting stray dogs from the streets. It was precisely this last job that gave him access to a huge variety of dogs of different breeds and temperaments. And that's when the brilliant idea came. Why not create the perfect protection dog? An animal that combined strength, speed, intelligence, loyalty, and courage in a single package. Karl Doberman then began meticulous selective breeding work. Although there are no precise records of all the breeds used, experts believe he crossed Rottweilers for strength and courage, German Shepherds for intelligence and obedience, German Pinschers for agility and alert temperament, Weimaraners for speed and elegant build, Manchester Terriers for refinement and coat color, and Greyhounds for additional speed. The result? An absolutely extraordinary dog that combined all these qualities in perfect proportions. Unfortunately, Karl Doberman died in 1894 before seeing his creation become world famous. But the breeders who continued his work, especially Otto Goerler, perfected the breed and named it Doberman Pinscher in honor of its creator. When you look at a Doberman, the first thing that catches your attention is its posture. Erect, alert, muscular, every inch of this dog was shaped for protection. The Doberman is an elite athlete of the canine world. Standing between 63 and 72 centimeters tall and weighing between 32 and 45 kilograms, it has the ideal combination of size and agility. It's not so large that it loses mobility, nor so small that it loses intimidation power. Its body is pure controlled power. Deep chest that houses powerful lungs, long muscular legs that allow explosive acceleration and speeds of up to 51 km/h in running, strong jaw with a bite force of approximately 245 psi, enough to stop any threat. But the most impressive physical characteristic of the Doberman is its endurance. This dog was created to work all day alongside its owner. It can run long distances, remain alert for hours, and still have energy for an explosive response when needed. What really sets the Doberman apart is its exceptional intelligence. According to renowned canine psychologist Stanley Coren, the Doberman is among the 5 most intelligent breeds in the world, alongside the Border Collie, Poodle, German Shepherd, and Golden Retriever. But what does this mean in practice? A Doberman can learn a new command in less than 5 repetitions. It obeys the first command 95% of the time, and even more impressive, it can assess situations and make independent decisions when necessary. This combination of obedience and independent thinking is rare in the canine world. Most dogs are either very obedient but don't think for themselves, or are independent but difficult to train. The Doberman perfectly balances these two qualities. Imagine the following situation. You're walking at night with your Doberman. 3 people approach. 2 are just normal pedestrians, but 1 has hostile intentions. Your Doberman can perceive the difference in body language, tone of voice, and micro-expressions. It remains calm with the innocent pedestrians, but positions itself defensively in relation to the real threat. This discernment ability is what makes the Doberman a superior protection dog. It's not an animal that attacks indiscriminately. It's an intelligent guardian that evaluates each situation. As if intelligence and strength weren't enough, the Doberman has extremely developed senses. It can detect sounds at frequencies 4 times higher than humans can hear, and at much greater distances. It has approximately 220 million olfactory receptors, allowing it to detect threats even before you perceive them. Its vision is especially adapted to detect movement, even in low-light conditions. A trained Doberman can detect a person approaching from 100 meters away, even in the dark, just by the sound of footsteps and smell. It's practically a state-of-the-art biological alarm system. Here's something many people don't know about the Doberman. Despite its intimidating appearance and reputation as a fierce dog, the breed was carefully developed to be deeply loyal and affectionate with its family. Breeders and Doberman owners often refer to them as Velcro dogs, dogs that literally stick to their owners. A Doberman will follow you from room to room, sleep next to your bed, sit at your feet while you watch TV. This isn't dependence or insecurity. It's pure protection instinct. The Doberman feels that its purpose in life is to protect you, and to do this effectively, it needs to be nearby at all times. Stories of Dobermans who saved their owners from fires, invasions, wild animal attacks, and even medical emergencies are abundant. There's even a documented case of a Doberman that woke its family during a gas leak, saving all 5 people from fatal poisoning. The Doberman's loyalty is not just a characteristic, it's a force of nature. This breed forms such deep emotional bonds with its family that it can become depressed if separated from its owners for long periods. But this extreme loyalty comes with responsibility. The Doberman is not a breed for everyone. It needs an owner who understands its nature, who establishes clear and consistent leadership, and who offers proper socialization and training. A poorly socialized or inadequately trained Doberman can become overly protective, developing inappropriate aggressive behavior. But with proper training, it becomes the perfect companion and protector. Here's something that shocks many people. The Doberman is one of the most emotionally sensitive breeds. They pick up on their owner's emotions with impressive accuracy. If you're sad, your Doberman will become quieter and try to comfort you. If you're excited, it will reflect that energy. If you're nervous or afraid, it will immediately enter maximum alert mode. This emotional sensitivity is part of what makes the Doberman so effective as a protection dog. It doesn't just respond to commands, it understands context, reads situations, and responds appropriately to its family's emotional state. Let's explore some real stories that demonstrate why the Doberman is considered one of the best protection dogs in the world. In 2015 in Florida, a family was sleeping peacefully when their Doberman named Khan started barking frantically at 3 in the morning. The owner tried to calm him down, but Khan kept insisting, running between rooms and practically dragging people out of the house. Irritated, the owner finally gave in and let Khan lead them outside. Less than 2 minutes later, an electrical fire that had started in the walls exploded, engulfing the entire residence in flames. Firefighters confirmed, without Khan's persistent alert, the entire family would have died from smoke inhalation. In Germany in 2018, a 4-year-old child managed to leave the yard without the parents noticing. The family's Doberman, Max, immediately followed the child. The girl walked for almost 2 kilometers until she reached a busy highway. When she started approaching the road, Max literally blocked her, using his body as a physical barrier. He wouldn't let her take one more step toward danger. Passing motorists saw the scene and called the police. When the parents arrived, they found their daughter sitting on the ground, hugging Max, who remained in guard position. The dog hadn't barked or shown aggression. He just silently fulfilled his role as protector. During World War II, Dobermans were extensively used by the military, especially by the United States Marine Corps. A Doberman named Cappy became legendary. During the Battle of Guam in 1944, Cappy was on patrol with his handler and other soldiers when he detected a Japanese ambush. Before any human noticed the danger, Cappy silently alerted his handler, pointing with his snout in the direction of the hidden enemies. Thanks to Cappy's alert, the platoon was able to reposition and avoid the ambush. It's estimated that that single act by Cappy saved the lives of 25 Marines. The dog was posthumously decorated after giving his life protecting his handler from a grenade. Today, at the War Dog Cemetery in Guam, there's a memorial dedicated to the Dobermans who served. The inscription reads, "Always faithful, always alert, always brave." Now let's reveal some facts about the Doberman that will surprise even those who already know the breed. That classic image of the Doberman with pointed ears and a short tail? Totally artificial. Naturally, the Doberman is born with floppy ears like a Labrador and a long tail. Ear cropping and tail docking was a historical practice originally done to prevent these appendages from being grabbed during confrontations. Nowadays, many European countries have banned these practices, and more responsible breeders choose to leave the Doberman in its natural form. Studies have shown that Dobermans and some other dogs can detect chemical changes in the human body associated with diseases. There are documented cases of Dobermans that began behaving strangely before their owners were diagnosed with cancer, uncontrolled diabetes, or heart problems. A Doberman named Toby in England repeatedly nudged the left side of his owner's chest. After several weeks of this behavior, the man sought a doctor and discovered a severe cardiac arrhythmia that could have been fatal. Despite its reputation, temperament studies show that the well-bred and socialized Doberman is less aggressive than many breeds considered friendly. The American Temperament Test Society gives the Doberman an approval rating of 79.5%, higher than the Beagle, Golden Retriever, and Cocker Spaniel. What happens is that the Doberman has a naturally intimidating appearance, and when it's in protection mode, its posture and attitude are so convincing that they seem like aggression, when in reality it's just calculated, intimidating presence. Unlike many other breeds, the Doberman has very thin skin and very short fur. This means they feel very cold. A Doberman is not suitable for living outdoors in cold climates. It needs to sleep indoors, preferably with a comfortable bed. This characteristic also makes them more sensitive to skin injuries, but on the other hand, it greatly facilitates hygiene and practically eliminates canine odor problems. A Doberman named Kurt, trained for obedience competitions, managed to learn and correctly execute 200 different commands, including complex multi-step commands. To put it in perspective, most dogs learn between 10 and 15 commands during their entire lifetime. In 1976, the first known albino Doberman was born, a female named Padula's Queen Sheba. Since then, some breeders have tried to perpetuate this genetic variation. However, albino, or more correctly cream-colored Dobermans, suffer from numerous health problems, including extreme photophobia, increased susceptibility to skin cancer, and behavioral problems. Responsible breeders actively avoid this variation, and many breed clubs disqualify albino Dobermans from competitions. It seems counterintuitive, but due to their emotional sensitivity and intelligence, properly trained Dobermans are excellent therapy dogs in hospitals, nursing homes, and schools. Their ability to read human emotions and respond appropriately makes them particularly effective with PTSD and autism patients. Now that you know the history, characteristics, and curiosities of the Doberman, let's understand precisely why it's considered the ideal dog for personal protection. The first line of defense is prevention. The mere presence of a Doberman by your side is enough to deter 99% of potential threats. Criminals look for easy targets. Nobody wants to confront a Doberman. Criminological studies have shown that residences with Dobermans have a 90% lower invasion rate than residences without dogs or with small breeds. The Doberman's reputation does the work before any confrontation even occurs. A trained Doberman is not a dog that attacks indiscriminately. It assesses the situation and responds proportionally. A suspicious person approaching, the Doberman positions itself between you and the threat in an alert posture, but without aggression. Does the threat become real? The Doberman escalates its response, warning barks, growls, bluff attacks, and only as a last resort a real attack. This proportional escalation is crucial and avoids legal problems. Unlike many guard breeds that need to work in groups, the Doberman was created to be an individual guardian. It doesn't need other dogs to be effective. A single Doberman is sufficient for complete family protection. The Doberman is equally effective protecting in different contexts, inside the house, in the yard, during walks, in car trips. Its medium size allows it to adapt to both apartments and large houses. Compared to electronic security systems that cost thousands in installation and monthly maintenance, a Doberman requires only adequate food, routine veterinary care, and initial training. And unlike cameras and alarms, it also offers companionship and unconditional love. In the end, what makes the Doberman the ideal dog for personal protection is the unique combination of physical strength, speed and agility, exceptional intelligence, extreme loyalty, emotional sensitivity, intimidating appearance, and discernment ability. No other breed combines all these characteristics at the same level as the Doberman. But before you rush out to adopt a Doberman, it's crucial to understand that this is not a breed for just anyone. Let's be honest about the challenges and responsibilities. A Doberman needs at least 1 to 2 hours of intense exercise per day. We're not talking about a leisurely walk. We're talking about running, vigorous play, active training. A bored Doberman is a destructive Doberman. Remember when we talked about the Doberman being a Velcro dog? This means it cannot be left alone for long hours daily. If you work 12 hours away from home and have no way to take the dog or have someone with it, the Doberman is not for you. A Doberman without proper training is like a Ferrari without brakes, lots of power without control. You need to invest in professional training, especially if this is your first experience with guard breeds. Dobermans are prone to certain health conditions, including dilated cardiomyopathy, von Willebrand disease, and joint problems. Veterinary costs can be significant, and you must be financially prepared. In many places, owning a guard dog like the Doberman comes with specific legal responsibilities. You are legally responsible for any incident involving your dog, even if it's just fulfilling its role as protector. A Doberman lives an average of 10-13 years. That's 10-13 years of daily commitment, of prioritizing your dog's needs, of adjusting your life to accommodate it. It's not a decision to be made lightly. We return now to the point where we started. Why is the Doberman considered one of the best protection dogs in the world? The answer lies in Carl Friedrich Louis Doberman's vision over 130 years ago. He didn't just want to create a strong or brave dog. He wanted to create the perfect guardian, an animal that combined power and intelligence, strength and loyalty, courage and discernment. And he succeeded. The Doberman we know today is the result of over a century of careful selective breeding, refining and perfecting the characteristics that make this breed unique. Every Doberman carries in its DNA the legacy of that German tax collector who dreamed of the perfect protector. But beyond all the physical characteristics and protection instincts, what truly defines the Doberman is its soul. It's that unwavering loyalty, that deep connection with its family, that willingness to place itself between you and any danger without hesitation. A Doberman doesn't see you as its owner. It sees you as its mission, its purpose, its reason for existing. And that's the most powerful characteristic of all. So, the next time you see a Doberman walking with its owner on the street, look beyond the intimidating appearance. You're seeing one of the most remarkable creations of modern dog breeding, a perfect guardian, an elite athlete, a canine genius, and above all, a loyal friend who doesn't know the meaning of the word give up when it comes to protecting those it loves. The Doberman is not just a protection dog, it's a four-legged warrior with a heart of gold. It's living proof that strength and sensitivity, power and loyalty, courage and love can coexist in perfect harmony. And perhaps that's exactly what we need to learn from the Doberman, that being a true guardian isn't just about being strong or fierce, it's about having the wisdom to know when to protect and when to embrace, when to intimidate and when to comfort, when to act and when to just be present. That's the true lesson of the Doberman. And that's why, more than 130 years after its creation, this remarkable breed continues to be revered as the gold standard of canine loyalty. If you enjoyed discovering the incredible story of the Doberman, subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next videos about the most fascinating dog breeds in the world. Leave in the comments, would you have the courage to have a Doberman? And share this video with that friend who loves dogs. Until the next video, and remember, every dog deserves a loving and responsible home.